Hello, hello. Welcome to North Carolina Comic Con, Christian.
Oh yeah, it's great to be here, Joshua.
Yeah. Hey, listeners, this is Systematic Geekology. We are two of your priests to the geeks, and we're at North Carolina Comic Con. We had a panel earlier, and now we're going to be talking about a very related topic to all things comics. Is there even an Adventure Time comic? Does that even exist? We were just sitting here. We were talking about like Adventure Time, one of my favorite cartoons.
Let's set up the issue here.
Oh yeah, that's right. It started with today's episode.
It started with me talking to Joshua because I had to leave the episode early, so I was not part of the captivate part of the question.
The episode in question that came out today was Avatar: The Last Airbender season 3. So it's the end of our Avatar season.
Yes, and for Kino's part, the captivate part, he spoke for 24 minutes on relationships, so we started talking about.
Hello, Kino.
Yes, well, thank you, sir.
Also, Rose,
special guest. Thank you, Will. So we started talking about how I'm not a big fan of how they handled Korra and Asami at the end, and Joshua hasn't finished, so he knows now he's okay with the spoilers. And that got us onto Adventure Time. So what was our break there? Oh, it was handled better with Princess Bubblegum and Marceline, I said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we said, why don't we just do an episode on Adventure Time relationship?
We were like, yeah, it was handled better. And then you had to bring up what happened with the Flame Prince.
I hate that so much.
Please break this down. If they haven't seen Adventure Time. First, what is Adventure Time?
Okay.
Joshua is usually slightly more ethical Christian in this thing, except in the age of the universe.
Yeah, he's on my side with the universe, Christian.
But when it comes to
what's more important,
Okay.
more important, the Star Wars movie or the universe, Christian?
So Finn, our main hero here, started off being attracted to Princess Bubblegum, who is way older than him.
My character's Finn.
I said Finn.
Oh, yeah, I missed it.
Oh, goodness gracious. You're just about Lucas. But then, as time went on, he matured a bit, realized he wasn't going to be with her, started pursuing Flame Princess instead. However, as the relationship was going well, they had Joss Whedon it and ruin everything for everyone. And have him wonder what would happen if she and the ice cream fought. And engineer a situation where that did, she learned about it, felt betrayed, and then went kind of evil. So, if I'm remembering things correctly.
Man, like, there's just so much to explore with relationships in this series. Man, thank you, Kino Kennedy.
Yes. Special
Is he
guest.
live on there right now? Is he with you?
No,
We wish.
he spawned this. It's his fault.
Yes. You get free extra content because of Kino.
I'm trying to word this carefully because I think Christians have a hard time talking about it. But I think there is a part of this that's genuine and okay. I think it is genuine and okay for some people to have, for lack of better terms, excuse me, everybody, I'm going to say kinks. Where certain things, they arouse you, and that is okay. God made all of us in different ways, etc., etc. I don't say,
we all have different preferences.
Something, violence arousing you, I think that's an issue.
That's a line to cross.
But yeah, there is some level of this that's genuine. And for Finn to just be discovering his sexuality, and to see, hey, seeing this girl I'm with destroy the bad guy, really kind of makes me feel some kind of, there was something genuine there, but how he handled it did create issues. And I agree with Flame Princess's response. I just don't agree with the show writers not giving us a lot of closure after.
Yes, it was a very shame. How many seasons? 5 or 6 seasons in them?
Yeah.
And then we had 3 more after that.
Yeah. It was a long show for a cartoon, actually.
Yes. I mean, for 11-minute episodes, depending on,
Well, and then 22-part episodes, so there was like 44 a season. Long show.
Very long. Well worth it.
But, yeah, so what do you think? Is it, A, genuine for him to have felt the way that he did, and B, do you agree with Flame Princess is, you know what, you caused me to fight, you lied to me, this is it, bro.
Well, she's obviously the one in the right overall. Like,
Oh, there's a Doctor Who!
yeah, there we go.
Yay, so good.
And it also doesn't help when he's a teenager.
Yeah.
He's not going to talk to her because he's not emotionally mature enough to say, hey, I enjoy this. Do you also enjoy this?
And then Ice King could have just been
And Ice King
there to get beat up.
the poor mental patient of beating up. So
That's true. He did have some serious mental health issues.
it's like they could have talked about it, but obviously Finn isn't emotionally mature enough to do that. So I get it. But Flame Princess feeling betrayed by this, I mean, she has the moral high ground here. What they did with her after that, not so much.
Yeah, you always kind of wish that they would have reconciled at something, right?
Yeah. I definitely preferred her over Princess Wizard. I know you were talking about you preferred Princess Bubblegum. Or,
Yeah.
which I get. Like, as a starting off, like, of course it's going to be attractive to a woman like her. Very strong, very capable, very intelligent.
Also, it probably doesn't hurt that I like intelligent women. If you know my life, you know what I'm talking
I mean,
about.
it's useful to have someone smarter than you around.
Yeah, it is. With better opinions. Although she loves all of us before. And we share the bad opinion
We're
of
not-
loving Jar Jar.
We're not writing fan fiction here for your Princess Bubblegum fantasies.
Okay. But so you mentioned Huntress Wizard.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that. Huntress Wizard made sense on one level. Because they're both adventurers, they both like to fight. It did make sense, Finn and Huntress. I just feel like the chemistry wasn't there.
Yeah, they felt better as friends overall than as potential spouses along the way. It's not like it couldn't have happened, but it needed more development.
Yeah. Okay, and then also we have to talk about the part that breaks my heart that he didn't end up with Princess Bubblegum. Because how we got here, we were talking about that relationship in Korra that was done better with Princess Bubblegum and Marcy.
Yes.
I didn't see it the first time I watched it. I had to rewatch to go, oh no, they definitely foreshadowed Princess Bubblegum and Marcy ending up together.
I think I first started hitting the hints around 7th or 8th season. And okay, maybe they're pushing towards this. But there, if you look back, there are definitely some I didn't know there was sexual tension at the time, but there was tension between the two of them. Like, I remember when you made this decision, or you said this, 500 years ago or whatever.
Well, and then even it is so ironic when you rewatch it. The music episode where they all had to they ended up having to play a song that was true to themselves, and listening to what Marceline really said about Princess Bubblegum, you're like, oh, she read that differently than I thought she did say.
Well, that's the great thing about a series like that is the rewatchability. Yeah. People go, okay, this connects to that. This is why they said this. I thought it was this. Well, Jesus, now, okay.
Yeah. Which the show does so good at just setting things up, following through, tying up all the loose ends. It just storytelling for that show wasn't better. Still sad he didn't have. But you know what the best relationship was? What was that? In my humble opinion, Jake the dog.
Oh, yes.
And Rainbow Corn.
The two were meant for each other. It's plain and simple.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you don't understand Korean, which I don't, it's plain to see this woman loves her man. This absolute scoundrel that she turned into an honest person. For Jake, an honest person.
Thinking about too, the amount of chemistry they had on, we're all like, yeah, that has to stay forever. We're all like, that's the couple. Yep. Most of us didn't understand half of every conversation because it was in Korean. So it was literally just the inflections in their voice and the animation alone sold us on the relationship.
Yes,
that's pretty cool.
And that's great for the animators too. They did their job so well. You can tell, even with the language barrier in place, I see the way she's moving her lips, the way her face is kind of soft.
The way they looked at each other.
Yeah, it's obvious these two love each other.
Well, and that brings up a pet peeve of mine in animated relationships. A lot of the times when you have someone who's already a couple, they do kind of cheat. They say, the way we know they're made for each other is this is the world of all talking animals and the two dogs are together. Or the two things that look exactly the same are together.
Yeah.
But in this relationship, you have, they don't look the same. One speaks a completely different language. And we find out there's an entire history of dogs and rainforest wars. They're hating each other. They're like Romeo and Juliet. It turns out
you find it way later on, but it still enriches not only the world of the story, but their relationship too is that they're fighting against something their ancestors would never have approved of. can't imagine why that would ever be applicable to the world right now.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
What's funny is that in world that was way more contentious. The Marceline and Princess Bubblegum relationship, which is kind of that makes sense.
Yeah. In the world, yeah.
Yeah. Now, for you, Christian, the conservative of systematic ecology. So I'm curious though, because you had a very easy time saying this story was handled well.
Yeah.
The one in Cora was not. But I feel like usually if someone's heard you say what you did about Cora, it's like, oh, you're a Baptist because you hate gay people. But here you are talking about this story, and even though I know you disagree, you're still able to kind of hold this.
That's one of the perspective. If you're going to have this be a thing, make it work. Make it believable enough that they can say, okay, these two enjoy each other's company that much. With Asami and Cora, I didn't feel it. It's basically there are enough hints if you have shipping goggles on, which most people did. But then one of the final shots in the series is them looking into each other's eyes. And as a watcher, I was like, wait, is that what they're implying? Are they together? I thought they were just friends. And then no, that's exactly what they intended. It was like the trope being like the relationship writing company. Yeah, it's like, we want you to think this, but we didn't do a good enough job of making you believe it. Yeah, Princess Bubblegum and Marceline, well, obviously I still disagree, theologically in that sense. When they write it, I get it, because it's built up over time. It's not thrown in your face, say, you're going to believe in this, and an agenda comes up. It's the two of them, they spend time together, they talk about their past, and you go, wait, there's a little more here than I thought. Oh, that's why. Okay. And then instead of just, and of course, Princess Bubblegum feel like so long, and you'll have people say, well, if you live that long, you'll try anything. I get that's not going to say that. But it's cool that you already had a history, we knew that. But this enhances what we already knew.
Yeah, and it's against the one that I wish, because I would have liked Finn and Bubblegum. But her being hundreds of years old and then being like 10, that is an issue. Well, obviously,
I think that's perfect for you. It's like your boy was never going to grow up. You can't get past the first ship, even though emotionally you know it's wrong to have this.
Yeah. But it was just interesting because that does make sense, and Marceline is like the only other character that's like gonna live. So yes, is what it is.
Actually, on the power we have to because it's not plugged in.
Yeah. It looks like it's plugged in.
But since it's on battery saver. Yeah. Live tech work on the podcast right now for YouTube. It keeps popping up. That's great. But yeah, anyway, ultimately, I do buy that Marceline and Bubblegum being in a relationship. But once again, it's not thrown in your face. It's not done in a patronizing way to that community.
What about the perspective of parents who don't want their kids exposed to it?
I think this is a useful learning tool. So obviously, I'm coming from a certain age. But I would definitely allow my children, if I have to watch the show when they were age appropriate. Not going to allow a 4-year-old to. So like, okay, 10, 11, 12. Sure. And when this comes up, they're going to ask questions. And guess what? Kids should be asking questions.
I world we live in.
Yeah, my job as a parent is to suppress that. Once again, I'm not even close to being a parent, not even married right now. But if I was, my job is to help construct that this is how certain parts of the world work. This is what different people think than what we think. And this is why we think what we do. This is how we do not hate that other person, but thinking a different way and believing it's right.
Yeah. Which we disagree on.
Yeah.
Just not as much as you and some of the other ones. I tend to be more in the not 100% sure camp, whereas we do have other hosts on the show that are very affirmative of the LGBTQ community, and we can disagree about that and fandoms and who should have been in which relationship, and we can be okay, it can be fine. Yes, it's cool. We can all go to Comic-Con together and talk about Loki and Ahsoka and One Piece and all the other stuff we've been talking about. Yeah. So with that, any other comments or relationship thoughts? how do you feel about the Ice King's relationship and his intimacy?
You gotta remind. Did Betty say anything?
Great question.
I can't remember.
I think basically Betty ended the world more or less.
But there's something to say about that. How far does your love go to when it becomes accepted to solve a problem versus letting this thing be?
And I forget what it's called. They recently had a miniseries out that's like in the future of that world.
Yes.
And you kind of see what happens with Simon. He's kind of able to become a hero in of his own right. So it's like their love lives on. He's able to go from being this cringy, pervy little bad guy to an actual hero.
Actually, that's one of the things that sold me on the show. That was the first episode I ever saw. Was his backstory.
Oh, that's the best part of that show, honestly.
It broke me.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you've been watching the show, you know this, except for the princess.
Yeah.
That's why. I don't like.
Yeah, no, it is sad and
Yes.
beautiful. See, that's that. The show is just deep and powerful.
For show, make the show.
We should do one of our series on that. We'll wrap up the Avatar. Let's add that to the future series. Season by season,
There's
Adventure
dozens of
Time.
others we have.
We do have a lot of series we want to do. There's so many good fandom and stuff to enjoy out there. Like the Toy Story series. Yeah. So guys, tune in, keep enjoying us. We're glad you guys took the time to check this out, and we're very happy and excited to be able to be part of Comic-Con and able to get some of this content out to you guys.
See you guys.
Well, you're supposed to add some other things. I gotta do this little outro.
Okay. Well, goodbye. Get rid of the outfit.
Goodbye. Leave it at comment. And the geek and me.
And also,
What's the one? He said one. He said one was that was like peace, faith, fandom, and love. I don't know what it is, but in my mind,
your anime journeys, blah blah blah.
I
It's written down
anime
somewhere.
journeys together.
I like it. I just don't remember. I'm not here to know if we do.
Bye.